Good morning, boys and girls, and welcome back to the southern wing of the Stink Bug Works. Now, I know many of you are saying, where's my running video? Where's the video of this running? Well, let me tell you, you probably wouldn't really enjoy the video because it's a nice video of the tops of trees and the sky with boat noises in the background. Boat noises and descriptions in the background. And if this were radio, maybe. but this is video. You want to see something, and looking at the tops of trees and the sky just wouldn't cut it. So there is no running video, but I will give you a description. This little guy needs a lot of work. I think I had too much prop on it. I've propped down since, but as I think about it, 3S might be just a little bit too much for this thing. Let me digress a minute and I will describe the pond. The pond was really nice, although he did make provisions in one side of it for water plants. He's got some water lilies and such that are in pots. And so I made a little shelf that would divide the water plants off to one edge and still leave a space to get in. So the pond is roughly circular and it's about 100 foot in any one dimension. I think he said it was 200,000 gallons. Well, it was enough room for the little tugboat. I gave him one of those little tugboats. I bought a bunch of those when they first came out because they were stupid cheap, and I figured I'd give them away, as the situation applied. And since he's let me run in his pond, this little tugboat is perfect for the pond. It gets lost in it. So he was real happy to get that. So this thing, I attempted to get it up to full speed once or twice. This thing is stupid fast. I only got it up halfway and was running out of room real quick. So most of my testing was done at low speed. And at low speed, the handling wasn't that good. I was suffering spinouts and some hopping, and I think the hopping was strut angle. So I'm going to adjust strut angles before it goes out again. And quite frankly, I may test it on 2S. This is a 3550 kV, so on 2S, what would that be? That'd be 28,000 RPM, give or take. That's kind of at the low end of desirable. Desirable's from like 25,000 to 35,000. And then if you're Big B or one of the saw guys, then you want 60,000. But I'm not doing saw runs. I'm just doing general stuff. So this needs some fine tuning. It has potential. This thing, it's going to go real quick. Steering, way sensitive. I need to tune this thing way down. I set my servo up on 6 volts. I'm going to back that down to 5 volts just because it's too fast. I mean, it's twitchy. You breathe on the wheel and it changes directions. As you can see, I have my discharging charger out here and all my various connectors. I'm going to cut in and out of this video a couple of times because I'm going to talk about this. I'm going to talk about that. So I've pretty much summed this thing up. I will give it for the maiden, I'll give it a 60%. we're 60% of where we want to be. It's just some strut adjustments and some power adjustments. You know, you used to be able to get these 26 millimeter CNC props from, the guys that make those CNC props. And I don't think they make the 26 millimeter anymore. I think there was only one guy on the planet that was buying them, and that was me. I have 3 or 4 of them, but I sure would like to get a few more to tinker around on. So if anybody knows a source for those 26 millimeter CNC props, let me know, because I'd like to tinker with some. So that's about enough for this edition. Stand by. I'll be back. I'm back. Come on, man. I did that. That's as close to political as I'm going to get. Well, boys and girls, the Swifter. I now have an appropriate sized servo that doesn't weigh a ton. Boy, the gear train on that big one, it was like the transmission in my truck. It was substantial. I'm using a 2 millimeter push rod on this because this clevis will not fit on a 3 millimeter push rod. And as such, remember I talked the other day, with these flimsy rods, you want them to pull and not push. Take a look at Big B's canard. He's got it set up exactly right. Pull with that little cable and then let the air loads bring it back. So I'm going to do the same thing here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to set the servo wherever it fits. And I'm going to adjust the CG with the motor. So the motor will be the last thing that goes in. So I'm going to arbitrarily set the servo that I have a fairly short push rod. So it's going to be somewhere in this area. I'll cut out some foam, see where the foam cutout is, adjust the length of these legs as necessary, and epoxy that bad boy in there. Then we will have steerage and be ready to go. So that's a quick update on the Swifter 26. It will be getting steering servo and steering linkage in the next day or so. So look out for that. Now the Mozilla 400. The Mozilla 400 is going to be done in German colors. And I ran it yesterday, and it ran pretty good, but it was still a little light on the bow, so it's going to need a strut adjustment as well. But since it's all coming apart, I'll have the strut right there in my hand, and I can quickly measure an angle and be done with it. It doesn't need much. Just needs a shade more down than it has. Just a shade. So I've pretty much summed up everything. We're going to be hanging out at the shop all day today. I've got, oh no, we're not going to be hanging out at the shop all day. I'm out of coffee. I have to make a Costco run. Costco has the best coffee. San Francisco brand roast. It comes in a 3-pound bag where everything else comes in a 2.5-pound bag. And it's just delightful stuff. The beans are black, and inside the bag it's just oily with coffee bean oil. That's the kind of coffee I like. I like stuff that put hair on your chest. Until next time, boys and girls, jet out.